Welcome back to another episode of the Two Alphas Talk. We want to talk to you about constitutional carry, what's going on here in the state of Georgia, and we got something to show you real quick what our governor is actually saying.
But we realize that ensuring public safety cannot just come from state government. Building a safer, stronger Georgia starts with hardworking Georgians having the ability to protect themselves and their families. In the face of rising violent crime across the country, law-abiding citizens should have their constitutional rights protected, not undermined. And while this position has recently become popular for others as we enter the campaign season, my position has remained the same. I believe the United States Constitution grants the citizens of our state the right to carry a firearm without state government approval. For law-abiding Georgians, their carry permit is the founding document of our nation. And I look forward to working with the members of the House and the Senate, many who are here today, and groups like the NRA and GA2A on legislation, some of which has already been filed, to get constitutional carry across the finish line this legislative session.
So there it is, folks. Constitutional carry is coming to the state of Georgia. I think it's a great thing. It's a positive thing. Has a lot of pros. I see a lot of negativity on a lot of people who don't understand what the law is.
Absolutely. You got people who think that we're about to go into the wild, wild west. And it's already the wild, wild west if you think about it. You got people who came here from other states and they've never had the freedom to carry a firearm the way we've been carrying firearms in Georgia and the South for decades. And you have people who are emotional. So those people who go out to get a firearm for self-protection has always been there. And now we have people who are coming here and they don't understand that, hey, the firearm is for the last effort, like when your life is in danger, not because you're mad at somebody because they cut you off.
Right. And so a lot of people, especially the ignorant and the uninformed, people who don't know the law, right now in the state of Georgia, we have to have a weapons permit. We don't have to have a concealed weapons permit. So we don't have to take a concealed carry class or have that firearm just registered for that one license.
Right.
We do not have to have insurance here in the state of Georgia. So with the weapons license, I can carry a broadsword on my back with the weapons license. And it just state a weapon. As long as I got that license, I can carry any weapon.
Right.
But it's certain rules you have to abide by. You know, you can't be drinking. You're not supposed to be, in certain places, federal buildings and stuff with it. But with this constitutional carry law, every law-abiding citizen, listen to what I said, people, every law-abiding citizen will be allowed to carry a firearm on their person concealed in the state of Georgia.
Right.
Without actually going through each county and municipality paying, what is it, about $70?
Yeah, on average about $70.
For 5 years and get purchasing that license.
Right. So what we're looking at is, as you mentioned, the uninformed, the ignorant, and it's not a knock on anybody. It's reality. When you don't know something, you're ignorant of it. We have people who come from places where guns are bad. That's all they know is guns are bad. So they feel that if anybody can go out and get a firearm and carry it without the government's approval, that's a bad thing. And it's not. It's the same process that's happening now, because we all know that criminals are always going to carry guns. If they want to carry a gun, they're going to get a gun, whether it's a legal gun or they steal it from somebody's house or wherever means they come about getting that firearm. they're going to carry, and it's nothing that the law has been able to prevent up to now. And this is coming from a career police officer, a retired officer, plenty of years of taking guns off the streets in the state of Maryland, and have plenty of friends here in the state of Georgia who are firearms, police officers who confiscate guns from illegal people in the state of Georgia where you can get a license. So there are people who are not going to follow the rules no matter what.
Right. So the pros to that is you have people who can barely afford a firearm, and they may take them 2 or 3 months to save up to get a good quality firearm.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're telling that person, well, I got to not only I have to buy ammunition, but I got to spend money on training. But now I have to, once I get that firearm, I still can't carry it because I have to pay another $70, $80 to go down and get this background check, which is going to take another, 30 to 45 days.
Yeah.
So they can get this firearm if they can just barely afford that firearm. Now they can say, okay, I have the firearm. Now I can carry it on my body. For instance, you have people that work late nights. A lot of women do. A lot of people work late nights alone, and they may need that firearm to walk from their place of business back to their car, and from their car into their home. And that's what they're most vulnerable at. Mm-hmm. So they may want to carry that gun now with them, and so now they can carry it and don't have to fear the law, because the law here in the state of Georgia, in order to carry on your body, you must have a weapons permit to carry either outside, what is it called? Outside carry?
Mm-hmm. Outside the waistband.
Open carry, or concealed carry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, but now this allows them to protect themselves.
Yeah, it's the same reverse argument for the most part as people saying that they can't afford to go get an ID to go to vote. Right. So they don't want to have to get ID to vote, but at the same time, we're kind of reversing it and allowing anyone who's a resident of the state of Georgia to go get a firearm,
and not a convicted felon.
Right.
So you can be a resident of the state of Georgia, not a convicted felon, and you can actually carry concealed firearm in the state of Georgia once this law passed.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's positives to everything. And then you also have the distractors and people who don't know, but you have to educate yourself in order to make a decision. So what I'm seeing a lot of is people who have already made that decision without any education, without any knowledge about what firearms carry and the entire lifestyle is all about, and they just automatically are against it. And that's the crazy thing. You don't have a clue, but you're against it.
Right, and those are the same people who own firearms, but be the same people who would give up their firearms if that said government said give them up.
Yeah, that's a fraction of that. But there's also those people who just don't know, and they come from somewhere else, and they're so used to only the government having guns and the government will protect us, and they just don't know. Again, the good word that you use today is ignorant.
Right, and so people coming from certain states, New York, California,
D.C.,
what's one of the other?
Maryland,
D.C.,
Virginia,
Maryland,
Delaware,
New Jersey, Delaware, all those states where guns are restricted. You got to remember, if you guys are coming here to the state of Georgia, this is a free state. Mm-hmm. So treat it as a free state and don't treat it like it's your old state.
Get in where you fit in.
Right, get in where you fit in.
Mm-hmm.
So if gun laws are free and you can, you're coming down here to enjoy those freedoms, don't poo-poo them thinking, okay, I want it to be more restricted there because everybody's got a gun. Well, if you're not doing anything crazy, you don't have to fear nobody with a gun. So just be yourself, be normal, and nothing's going to happen. A person with a gun is likely to be more safer than a person who is a felon with a gun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So just think of that. That person will likely come to your aid or your help if you need help in a crisis.
So you mean to tell me that if you have more people carrying guns, and especially what I'm hearing, black people carrying guns, that white people are just not going to go out and shoot them because they're open carrying a gun. That's what you're trying to tell me?
No. That's not
white people just start
true.
shooting you because you have an open carry and they see you with a gun, they're going to shoot you. This is a debate that I had with somebody. Like,
right.
So why don't they shoot black police officers who walk around open carrying all the time?
Right.
And white people see black police officers all the time. They don't just, there's one, and start shooting them. What the hell is wrong with people?
Well, everybody, a law-abiding citizen knows that's against the law.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't actually just draw down and shoot at somebody who has not threatened you with a firearm.
Right. So
law-abiding citizens don't break the law just because people think they should break the law.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So criminals, that's a whole different ballgame. You will see a criminal will come at, and if you do carry open, sometimes they'll grab at your gun and try to take it and run off with it.
Well, we see plenty of videos of that.
Yeah, there's plenty of videos of that, but that's ignorance of the gun owner not securing the firearm.
Exactly.
So that's a whole different ball game. The white and black issue is really not an issue unless you make it up yourself. So it's has been a lot of statistics where black people have been walking down the street who is armed, concealed carry, and been gunned down for no reason.
Right.
It's not happening. I'm a black man. I carry concealed, and I haven't been gunned down. I'm still here to talk about it. Mm-hmm. I've been carrying over 20-something years,
right.
And it hasn't happened to me. So I just, people just have to get those...
the boogeyman. It's the boogeyman theory.
They have to get that out of their head.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to...
Because if you...
Go ahead. You go.
I was going to say, if you keep thinking that kind of stuff, it will happen.
Well, you're looking for a problem.
You're looking for
somebody with a chip on their shoulder. So,
right.
Having been legally armed since 1986, I've never seen anything like that. And, but people bring up, situations, I think it was in Wisconsin. It's a crazy place to be in, Wisconsin. But Wisconsin, where the officer told the guy to, show me your hands or whatever it was. And the guy reaches, Fernando Castillo, and he reaches for his wallet. And the gun's in the car. The officer doesn't know. The officer says he sees a gun, told him to stop. He kept going. The guy was intoxicated, had stuff in his system.
Marijuana in his system.
Right. So maybe he wasn't listening. Those are one-offs. But people make that to be that's the everyday situation. There's somebody right now while we're doing this video. There's somebody right now that's being pulled over and had a smooth transition with law enforcement.
I've had several.
Right.
Several. Yeah. And I've been pulled over with so many guns in the car. You would. you should have pulled me out of the car.
Right.
Yeah. So, right.
And but that's how you handle those situations. When you're a firearms owner and you're a legal carrier, you're not a cop. You're not on the side of the cops. You're not part of the government. You're not duly sworn. So there's no kindred. There's no kinship. There's no commonality between you and an officer. So when the officer asks you a question, you don't say, "Hey, I got a Glock, G19, or you want to see my guns?" He doesn't care about your damn guns,
right? Or I'm a good guy. Right. I'm one of you.
I'm with you guys. Let me show you my paperwork. Let me show you. Nobody wants to see that. They don't want to see that. Just
follow the commands, follow what they got to do, and everything will be fine. If they tell you to get out of the car, well, that'll be another episode, right? But there's certain things that happens with that.
Exactly.
All right. So with that, let's wrap up. We all feel it's a good thing. If you guys have any questions about it, go ahead and shoot us some on the email or on YouTube. Ask some questions about it if you have anything additional to it. And also, this is sponsored by SaberTeamTactical.com.
For all your training needs, with a one-on-one specialist. Right.
We train from beginners to all the way up to advanced. Look us up, SaberTeamTactical.com. And with that, bid you good night and see you on the range.
See you on the range, guys.